I have a full set of detailed written guidelines for how to administer my surveys, and I'd be happy to send that to you. Just let me know. Um, Sometimes schools ignore and don't read those guidelines, so this is a hope that people will listen to the guidelines and follow them. Not long. Hope you find it useful. For parent surveys, expect a data collection period of 5 to 6 weeks. I'm regularly told by schools, no, this is going to take 1 or 2 weeks. Doesn't happen. I've been doing this for 28 years. For very small K-8 schools, a couple of times we've seen 2.5, 3 weeks for collecting the data. Count on 5 to 6 weeks, including a launch email letter from the head of school and 5 weekly email reminders. All 6 messages, the launch and the reminders, need to be standalone emails, not embedded in newsletters. Use the newsletters, but don't count those as among the 6. Do not post your survey links on a publicly accessible web page. Pre-announce the survey. Tell people month, 2 months, even 3 months ahead of time that it's coming, so when it arrives, they know it's not some scam with a link embedded in the email. Provide support, newsletters, as I say, announcement at all other events. Put some signs up at pickup, drop-off locations, and definitely involve your parent association. That could be the most powerful support. Phone campaigns, group, whatever opportunities they can muster. Emphasize to parents that this is entirely an anonymous survey. Raw data for results will never be going back to a school in 28 years. I've done this 500 times. The raw data does not go back to the school. Lots of detailed reports, but the raw data is never released. We host our surveys, each of our surveys, talk about a parent survey, on 3 different servers. So we'll give you 3 different links to the identical form. You should be sending all 3 links to parents with the instruction to access the form. Click on one of the links below. If it's slow to load, click on one of the others. This ensures reliable access to the survey form. Response rates, you need to be looking at 60% as a minimum objective. In the last 6-7 years, we've been looking at 75, 78%. For small K-8 schools, we've seen over 95% participation. Those parents are more engaged. Parents of younger kids typically respond more than parents of older kids. Do not tell parents that this is going to be a 6-week data collection phase, because they'll wait 5.5 weeks to fill it out. Send out your reminder messages, and then I'll let you know where we stand as we proceed week by week. And then send out a 24-hour last call deadline. You've got 24 hours to be heard, and that'll bring a good bunch out of the woodwork. Do not skip the reminder phase. Reminders, 5 reminders will bring in a lot more than your first launch. And the final reminder with a 24-hour deadline will probably bring in twice as much as the one before that. Student survey. Don't do the student surveys as they're prepping for exams. Keep it on low stress points during the school year. Typically, after vacations are a good time. Just choose carefully. The student survey must be conducted in a supervised environment. There's always somebody, some teacher, usually a grade 12 teacher, who says, my kids are mature enough to fill it out on their own time, and we don't see 50% of them filling it out. They know you have no way of knowing whether they filled it out or not. So you sit them down, use advisor sessions or homeroom environment, and don't be walking around looking over their shoulders. Ensure them of their anonymity. Use the advisor session, 20 minutes assigned. Most will finish it in 10 to 12 minutes. You're looking at about 100 questions for the student survey as compared to 120, maybe 130 for the parent survey. It shouldn't take more than a couple of days, maybe a week, depending on how your sessions are scheduled. We often have schools sit all students down, and an hour later, it's done. Don't distribute the links to students before the session of administering the survey, and don't post the links again on a publicly accessible web page. We do these surveys typically from grades 5 and up, sometimes 7 and up, sometimes just 9 to 12. Some of the grade 5 and 6 teachers will be concerned that their kids may not get some of the questions. Not to worry. First question we ask is, what grade are you in? So we're able to parse the answers and take those with a grain of salt, where the kids are not likely to catch. There won't be many of those questions. And to be honest, there are a number of questions that we'll put parenthetically grades 9 to 12 only, or grade 8 to 12 only. We can qualify that and clean the data when we're done collecting it. Leave the survey open for a couple of days for stragglers, people who were away sick or at events. For the employee survey, there's no good time to do an employee survey, so find the least worst time. And typically that would be, again, after vacations. Early November is a good time. January early, again, after the vacation, and right after spring break. As with students, avoid exam periods. Again, do these in a group session if you can. Employees are among the worst procrastinators of all. There's no reason you shouldn't have 95% participation in an employee survey. Divisional meetings are a great opportunity to put people all in one room, and make sure that you provide opportunity for the non-teaching employees to participate. Emphasize anonymity. Tell them that this is going off-site to a third-party consultant, and the results will be given in aggregated form only. No efforts will be made to identify individuals. And then say it again, because there's always going to be somebody who doesn't trust you. For alum surveys, we've got 2 kinds of alum surveys. You can be looking at as little as 6 weeks, but plan on 8 to 12 weeks. Alum don't respond at nearly the rate as parents do. They're not in your face on a daily basis. So you're not going to see that response rate. It's going to be like pulling teeth. We have a young alum survey and an all alum survey. Young alum is designed to learn how well did we prepare you for college and for life. The all alum survey is more a non-anonymous relationship management. How can we best serve your particular needs? 25% would be your target rate. We've seen higher than that, and we've seen lower than that. And your success factors are reliability of your email directory. What kind of relationship do you have with alum? If you just send them a letter once a year asking for a donation, that's going to hurt your response rate. And of course, your commitment to supporting response through a variety of initiatives, be it the Alumni Association or events or the letter campaign that you'd be sending out on a weekly basis. For the younger alum survey, I'm looking for at least 1,500 reliable email addresses. 20% of those are not good. So I'm looking at 1,200 net, and a quarter of that, 25%, is going to give you 300. And 300 from that number, from about 1,200, is what I need to generate a confidence level of 95% plus or minus 5%. Of course, for the advancement survey of alum, it's just everybody in your database. And for more information, fill out the contact form below. Have a great day.